starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hi, everybody. I'm Rose Ackerman, and I was on the Community Pulse show with Frank last week, and I felt so honored to be able to share my story and my music. It was such a pleasure to meet so many people who are, artists, and these people just are awesome musicians, and I just, it just such a wonderful experience. I really appreciate everybody who came to my channel, and some of you I have never known, some of you I knew from before, but all of you are just awesome. Thank you, Frank, and everybody for all your work and all your support.
We are, we are, we are, we are. 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 Sister, brother, father, mother, we are one and the same.
All right. Let me get myself on stage here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Community Pulse. This is the 8th edition. And as you all know by now, we have a relatively new artist, Liz Aday, who's taken this community by storm, as well as our co-host tonight, Crimson Crutz, Nate, who also has taken this community by storm. Amazing members, both of them. I think you're really going to enjoy this show today. I'm actually really nervous. I was talking to Liz back stage and Nate, and the energy level was quite high. And yeah, so I don't think I'll be doing much talking today, judging from what I just witnessed backstage. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you, Folk Punk Indy, and the rest of my mods for amazing work that you do. I'm so glad to see you all. And I do want to, you know what? I'm going to bring in Nate now, but I'm going to play a song of theirs. As you know, they have a new release called Glitch. And let's just give this a spin. this out of the way for now. And let's welcome the man here. And it's Nathan. What's going on, brother? Yep, you're on mute because I didn't unmute you. There you go.
Yeah, right when you said that, I looked down. I'm like, you know what? If you didn't unmute me, I didn't unmute me either. So.
Yeah, well, I've just been singing Glitch over and over, and of course, I had to have my own glitch.
Frank, how's it going, man?
It's going well, man. And I got to tell everybody, this was all the doings of Crimson Crux. He approached me and he says, Frank, have you heard of this Liz Aday? She's incredible, man. You got to have her on your show. And if I reach out to her, can I co-host? I said, it's all yours. And that goes for everybody out there. If you find an artist that you want on the show, we can make arrangements and you can co-host. That's what it's all about. I'm just sitting here in this chair. This is all about the community. And
that's exactly how I said it too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I felt that. I told you backstage, man. I felt the energy.
Yeah, you can. I think the word you used was anxiety, and I'm like, that was accurate too.
Yeah, I wasn't about to use that here, but
so
that's what I said. That's pretty cool. So it's great to have you back on the show.
Thanks, man. I love you.
And that song that came right after Rose Ackerman. That was a song by Liz Aday, and get used to it. The song is called Family. We will put up the link, and that's going to be one of the mainstays of this community, because if you listen to the lyrics and when you hear the whole song at the end of the show, you're going to know why I really needed to ask her for permission to use this permanently on my show. It's a great track, and you just got a 15-second taste of it. I want to start off the show, Nate, by shouting out some of these premieres that happened this past week.
Yeah,
obviously, many of us know the departure of Dickie Betts. I know with my style of music, he had a huge influence in for me growing up. So he'll be sadly missed. There was 3 premieres. I'm sure there were a lot more, but 3 directly from our community. Rhodey's Jam Cave did a cover of Blue Sky, and that's live. And it's Rhodey and the Wheat Farmers, sorry. And it was performed in the Jam Cave. Wes Herden did a short tribute to Dickie Betts, a little longer than a short. It's really cool. Heartfelt. And Rainfield Music put out Rambling Man, another live performance. It's really cool. And a lot of our idols are slowly disappearing. It's the age we're at, and it's sad to see them go, but they've left quite a legacy and had a huge impact on many of us. We've got some new releases. East Virginia Studio put out something, one of our latest mods here, Not the Same as Me. Rose Ackerman put out something, I think it was immediately the day after she was on the show. There should be Bees, an improv. And then Wes Herndon, which is a relatively new member of our community. Please, you all have to go check him out. He was sent here through East Virginia Studio, and this is the magic of what I hope to achieve in this show. He put out a song called Best of Me. Folk punk, of course, we're going to get a folk punk track here. High in the Rock in Coventry, Rhode Island, 4724 for the Birds. Another great track, and he's got some natural sound effects of sounds like a storm. He's way up there, and it's a great little video. Jason Lemansky put out a real cool track, and it was an original that he wrote, and he sings Together Forever. It features Claire Esterman and Laurie's Mishmash, so it's a must-go see. Forest of the Wolves put out Hybrid Therapy. Dave's music videos. Again, I will shout out this channel Forever and a Day. He was one of the first to come onto my channel, and he hasn't stopped since. Pal. Now, a lot of these in the past few weeks, I was Lars, how you doing? In the past few weeks, I was reading out a whole bunch of the releases, and there was we were talking backstage. I had about 151 shoutouts, and I don't think my throat can do it tonight. But so what I've done is, like for Pal, I think he's had 3 out. I've just put out the one, In Your Arms, but Pal has put out a couple of really nice tracks. And I seen Josh Harris. It's been a while. Love this man. Love his music. Love what he stands for. A true family man. There's a live performance with his family called Mother. And I believe there was another one that I didn't get on here. So you got to go check out Josh Harris, JD and the Queens. To those of you that are in my community that haven't been able to reach some of these, you can see this on replay, and please go hit the links that you see posted. Flower Rock Music put out a really nice M. Joe Rockin' Lovely Writer track. Andreana Amacucci, my Italian friend, she's also put out several just dark techno, heavy beat stuff. You'll all appreciate it. Frank Mal put out, I think there was 2 premieres this week. I've got this one here as Reach for the Stars. I'm at 16, so I'm going to read about another 10 or so, and then we're going to get started with the show. Alex Bacchus put out a track called Variations. My buddy John Lemon and Lemonade, Kitty City, really cool track. Tobias H. Reese, Grace Under Pressure. It's a pre-release track from the new album that's coming out. I think it says in October, or at least on BANDCAMP, it'll be October. It's called Aftermath. Josh Gates put out a track called Lifeblood. Doorways into Music. I'll Always Go Walking With You, featuring Janet Chung. It's a beautiful song. Son of Snake is on a roll lately. I love what's coming out of that camp. He's put out another single. I think there was 2 out this week. Everyone Except Me. Michael Thompson has also put out a track, a couple tracks. This one that I've got here, the link for, is In Your Face, and Michael will be on the show soon. I will shout out the dates of upcoming artists on this show. I think we're booked right into July, and I think you'll be excited as to the lineup that we have. Clayton Von Kluge put out one, Beyond and Above. Sean Needham, Bittersweet Idea Factory put out a track called First Last Blues. Weltingkinder, Floodlight, really cool track. Karen Baldwin, one of the finest pianists that I know, and I have quite a few on this list today. It's been a week of great pianists. Boogie Woogie, that's awesome to play. That's the title of that. And welcome back, Herman LeService. Yes. And
Yes.
I got to be mod for another channel. Gives me excuse to leave. It's
All right.
usually during time when I'm at work. You can tell that story after.
We will tell that
You know
story.
what? Go ahead. Rip
Okay,
that
all
story.
right.
So Herman's
Yeah.
got a track called Brothers in Arms, and I get a call from Nate. And go ahead.
Yeah. So Herman coming back was great, right? So I hop on YouTube and I see that there's a stream going, and the name next to it is Herman. I'm like, no way, Herman's back. So I hop on. I'm like, oh, I gotta send Frank this, and so I copy the link, send it to Frank. A little while later, I get this. Yeah, I'm at work right now. I just told everybody I'm on a conference call. So Frank goes into his office and watches Herman. I'm like, yeah, that's Frank the legend for you.
and I just realized now this is going to be on replay, isn't it?
Yeah, they're right.
Damn.
Oh man.
All right, so we're at yeah, thanks. The Skeptics put out a track called Broken, and it's featuring Tremor Bear and Ian Luckett. That's the name of their band. Really cool stuff. Tremor Bear and Ian have grouped together. They have quite a few out there. Go check them out. Lemmy White put out a real cool track as well. In the Remains, titled Age of Man. There's another one. Brian Drums. I've got quite a few drummers in this also in this list this week. Brian Drums has been a strong supporter of my channel and a few other communities that I reached out to. And he does some really cool cover drum tracks. I See Monkeys put out Cosmic Nightmare. Drew the Genius Music, Make 'em Say, it's really cool. Like that effect. Zeo Fender put out a real sweet one, When Music Touches the Soul. I believe he's dedicated that to 15th Bend. 11 Drums, another drummer I shout out pretty much every week. A brilliant artist, really young. I'm not sure if I should have said his age last week, but really a fantastic musician. And then Fish 1999. Here's a supporter of many of our channels, but I don't think he gets enough love. He put a sci-fi short film called Nature of the Sea, Mandela Sea Lab. You gotta check this out. You won't be disappointed. I'm going to read out a couple more. Ernst Vingerhoitz, Upside Down. I hope I didn't butcher the last name. Midnight Bandit put out a track called Duke Dastardly, psychedelic ambience. Pete Hopeless, another drummer, put out a drum cover of Frank Zappa's In the Slime. It's really cool if you're a Zappa fan. And then a follower, somebody that I've been following back and forth with each other's channels, Linda Jean. She's a brilliant artist, a guitar player, singer-songwriter. I'm going to stop there. Please go check out her channel as well and show some love. And I'm going to give my throat a little break. And so back to you, Nate. What do we got? Again, Dan Anderson, everybody out there, Desolate Morning, thank you all for coming here. Lord Spike, love you all. Thank you.
Yeah, Dan, really love watching your streams, man. You got the most beautiful guitars on probably all of YouTube.
Who, Dan's?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just
every time you get on, I'm like, man, I want that guitar. And then he gets it, then he plays another one. I'm like, I want that one. Like, it's so beautiful.
Yeah. And it's just so full of energy, that show, right?
And the playing is on another level. It's like Rose. You can't teach that. You either feel it or you don't. And yeah. I think Dan and Rose are probably two of the artists that I've come across recently where I'm like, you just have to hear and feel that. And they play with such emotion and just such feeling.
And I don't think he plans anything. I think he just hits play and then whatever's coming out, he jams to.
It's a skill set because I'm better at homework, right? Like I've never been a good jam musician. Like I enjoy storytelling. Like I enjoy art, and it's a different kind of art. And the people that jam like that, I have a whole level of respect for because I'm not good at what they do. That always fascinates me.
Yeah. Yeah. Hello, Chad. Feisty. Jorge. Snooks.
Mike and Dawn.
Yeah, there's quite a few. So, I'm going to shout out about 10 more, and then we're going to bring on our featured artist because I do want to get through some of these so we can spend more time talking to Liz. We're at shout out number 41, drummer Jim for life. Like I said, I've got a lot of drummers this week on this show. Brilliant artists. He did a cover of Weezer's Trainwrecks, and I love Weezer. Marcus Cannell and Auntie G have struck again with
Oh, I love
another man, aren't they good? And then yeah, I would sit there and listen to
I'd love
both of you and both of them forever. Power of Spoken Word is the name of their track. Rob Taves, my Canadian brother, Rattle Them Bones, and I think he just put out another one today.
That's
No Lake had a few tracks out there this week. A collaboration with Colin Jones titled Autumn Rains. Mark Wade, wouldn't be a week without a Mark Wade track. Road is Calling My Name, really cool original. Small Town Girl, who always teams up with Bob Clements. No Softness, another original song. Mark Tanner, Lady Hawk cover of My Delirium. And Jimmy Bear, who's going to be also on this show coming up, and I will announce those. Put out a track called Mountaineer Girl. Leanie Perez, a ukulele cover of Joni Mitchell's Both Sides Now. And I heard that twice this week. That was just beautiful.
Yeah.
We got Gary Schaefer and the Pick and Pilot, a collaboration with Bert Schult. Counterfeit Self band page titled Soundtrack with No Home 2024. Brian's Drum Cave did a drum cover of Scorpions' The Zoo. Really cool stuff. Lady Campion has released a cover of The Way You Look Tonight. She did a beautiful job as expected. Live to Fly put out a real nice John Prime cover called My Mexican Home. David, that was just lovely. And then Mr. Rock looks like he's back. He's putting out, I think he had 2 or 3 out this week, and Ibanez show Slow Shred. And that's it. So let's do this. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? I'm gonna take a break here. That's it. So I think we've made Liz wait in the back too long.
Let's get her.
I'm gonna start off with a track that she sent me. Or should we bring her on first? It's your call.
Oh man, let's I think we've held on long enough. I think it's time to say hello.
Yeah, I agree.
I know, because I know what it's like to be back there, like jumping at the bit to come on. Yeah,
that's what I was laughing at. I could see her in the background doing this. Liz
that might be the best show intro that I've seen so far here, Frank.
I aim to please.
So glad you can make it. I'm so glad you're on this show, Liz.
Good morning.
Yeah,
that's right. Like we were saying before the show, I was like, I totally forgot about that time zone. It's like, yeah, it's 7 something, and oh, by the way, it's tomorrow.
I'm from the future.
Yeah, right. So, Liz, how are you?
Yeah, good. Yeah, good. Above ground and getting round.
Oh. So, first of all, like we talked about before, the microphone, absolutely killer. I love seeing that unidirectional microphone. Like we said, we just got one for our music video. It's complete eye candy for me. I zone right in on it.
I love the vintage looks, I bought it down here thinking, I'm, going to use it for my little jazz show at the cafe and everything. But then it turned out sounding great. So, some of them don't, but this one is all right. Yeah.
Silky smooth, man. It sounds awesome. It matches your whole aesthetic. Like, I love the, even like right now, black and white, just like on your cocktail hour that we talked about. I just love the aesthetic, man. Every time you come on. That sewing mannequin back there, right? That you got the jacket on.
Mm.
Yeah. So I spotted that because many times back at home, Tanya sews like a mad woman.
Oh, nice.
She has a bad habit of leaving that in the worst places in the dark. So I can't tell you how many times I've woke up and jumped because I thought there was somebody right there. And I mean, and you're talking just like you, right? You got the hat on it, the top hat. You've got what she's got those little top hats too. You've got the jacket on it. And I'm sitting there sleeping. I wake up, dead in the dark, and I'm like, whoa, just throwing mannequins. So
it's next level. Yeah. I've got 2 of them, so I'd really like to have I'd like to have an army of them.
Yeah, that's my worst nightmare.
Me too.
So you know what I would like to do is, because I added something to the little video that I was about to play when I asked you, should we bring her back on? I would like to play the one track because it explains a couple things and then we can get into it. Is that okay, Liz?
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to do this. And this track's called Pretty Glass Cage.
This is a good one.
And the story behind it is just, we'll get into it, but it's such a beautiful song.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
How beautiful is that?
sounds so good. It's Liz. You want to tell us a little bit about that song?
Whoa. How many paths can I go on that? Goodness. Well, it originally was a brief for an indie film. I just come off the heels of a zombie film, and they were doing up next was a vampire film, and so I kind of got the idea in my head about it. At the time, I was writing full time for sync licensing. I was pushing for that,
Right.
so I was just like treating it like a day job, like I am now. I had the luxury of doing that for a few months, and I I wrote it and it came out. It just was one of those dumps. It was done. You know how that is when you just have it. It comes out. It's going. You're chasing it and you write it down and record it a demo really quick. And there's like a demo version out there that I did in like the early noughts. I don't remember 2008, I think. So and then I used to perform it live a lot, and never really got past the demo phase of that song. And then I lost my voice to vocal cord paralysis in 2017. And then I couldn't sing it anymore. So this was a huge win for me, as all the singles that I've been recording have been from a sick bed. Literally a sick bed, like my she shed, my little bed for me to be sick. And it's just, I don't even use this mic in there. I don't like it. I don't like the acoustics in here for the recording. I use the she shed for that. And I literally was, well, not for that one, but most of those singles, I'm laying down with the mic in my face, which will be demonstrated in my next video that's premiering soon. But Pretty Glass Cage turned out to be one of those songs. I don't know if this happens to you, Nate, but when you're writing, sometimes it just comes and you're just like, okay, you don't question, you do it. And then later, the significance really will hit you when something big happens. Like at the time, my partner who mixed my demo in 28, he died in 2011. Suddenly, I found him on the floor in the bathroom. And that was just rocked my world. We were engaged. It was just like this really weird, it's a lot. And but that song, all the lyrics went because it's always had this kind of achy longing, like angst, and it just was one of my grief songs that I so anyway.
No, I totally understand, when our carousel album, because you and I have such similar stories with the health situation there, and I understand what you're saying. You write material, and the situation somewhere down the road lines up with the material that you had written at a previous point, and that was basically our entire carousel album. I totally get that. I totally understand.
It's magic when that happens.
And that quote that you left in your YouTube, I had to post that up. It took losing your voice. How does it go exactly?
It took losing my voice to find it.
Yeah.
And wow. There's stuff that goes along with that, and that's also it's because I spent many years in the cover circuit doing shows and things like that. In fact, you can see a moment of me when I'm dressed like a dominatrix Betty Page doing moves in that video. That's me. Right. I'm a terrible dancer. I mean, it's just like really doesn't come naturally for me, so I have to work at it. And I was in a burlesque live singing show.
Liz, we just became best friends. Okay,
yay!
Yeah, I'm horrible at dancing. Tanya owns dance studio. You and I are best friends.
That's not my thing. I struggle. Yeah, I really have to think. It's not. Yeah, and then you think, and then it's like you can see you're thinking, and I'm like, oh. But but that's me rehearsing that. But I spent many years doing that for a living, and it gets very distracting when you do, especially when I do because I do impersonations and stuff. You lose yourself in that, and for the
Can you do one right now? No, I don't mean to put you on the spot, but
let's see. At this hour, I wouldn't dare do Pat Benatar. They cry in the dark so you can't see the tears. They hide in the light so you can't see the fears. See, my voice is like, no, what are you doing? That's Hell is for Children.
You don't even have to explain that. Yes, that's exactly what that song is. Wow, such an incredible voice.
Hello, Jeff. Metalhead Hippies in the house.
Hey,
Jeff.
Lars, Dragon Orb Music, Samantha. So I'm going to continue with a few of these shout outs. Samantha Lee's original put out a really nice track called Whiplash. Isn't that ironic? And I just saw her come into the chat. Like I mentioned earlier, aside from having a whole load of drummers, I have a whole load of pianists, piano things. Put out a real nice piano cover of Yuruma Do You. Melanie Choli, who's going to be on the show soon, incredible artist, put out a collaboration. That's why I can't read. With titled Blue Moon. Sorry. And then my friend Jenny, she has the two channels, as I mentioned the previous weeks. She has a country channel. She does a lot of covers. And she also has a pop channel. She did a cover of Garth Brooks and a cover of Nina Simone on her pop channel. Yeah, it's really cool stuff. Caviar Kubrick put out the collection, Cloud Rap Beat. You'll really enjoy that channel. My man Sam, Vintage Tone. You'll really enjoy his shredding. Y'all got to go check out that channel. Adam Holtz put out a few tracks. Just shouting out one of them here, but please go check out his channel. This one's called With Me. Deed 1951 also put out a few songs, 60s ballad. Stephen Ewert and Robbie Stingle, they are kings of YouTube. So one from Australia and the other one from the US. I think they hold a world's record of, I don't know, maybe about 10 a week. It's just incredible, the stuff that they're putting out, and amazing work, both of you. Scars and Shadows put out a couple. This one here is called I Get Higher. Detective Agent, also known as Dark Nut, put out, I think, 3 folk punk found. This one's called Pole Position. The Drag Gurus is back, and they are pumping out a lot of tracks. I think I had 6 at one point. This one's called Lover. You got to go check them out. And again, anybody that I'm shouting out here, you go to their channels. They're going to come back to your channels. Ray Pierce put out C Mob Choice Cover Remaster. Cubic Lover is doing a lot of great work, such as Robbie and Steven. So I just put a link out to his channel, and I know he's got an album that he's working on. I think it'll be in the shoutouts, a few pages down. But amazing person, Brian, you're awesome. Leroy's Musical Journey put out another. He does a lot of AI stuff lately and a lot of original, and he's just an incredible artist. I think he plays every instrument and he plays it live. He put out a Beatles AI, Never Losing Sight. Synth Work is another busy artist. He's putting out quite a few tracks. This one's called Risen Theme. Please go check that out. And Paul, Jesus Came to Town. I think I already shouted out Paul, but he gets another one. He's put out, I think, 3 also. and somebody that again that I've been following for a few years now. Charlie Tom Stone. You'll love her music, technology, a lot of techno stuff. And I think I should stop there so we can talk to Liz a little bit more. So, Liz, I'm just like I said earlier when I was so nervous before this show started, and you guys, when I was listening to you in the back, the energy level you both have, yeah, it didn't help, but it did once the show started. I knew where to, push some of that towards, but when Nate asked me if he could have you, I'd already heard of you and through Metalhead Hippie, and honestly at first I thought she's not gonna come on my show.
Oh my goodness. What?
And I said, it's all yours, Nate. If you can get her on, man, we'll fit her in.
Oh my gosh.
So once again, I'm really glad to have you, and judging by the response that you're getting in the chat here. And I want everybody to support Liz Aday's BANDCAMP. And yes, Metalhead Hippie, I did tell her that you do an incredible job of promoting BANDCAMP through your show on Friday nights. And please go visit her BANDCAMP and her Patreon. Liz does this full time. This is her life. It's her livelihood. She's an incredible artist. I will be joining her Patreon, and I will be purchasing the BANDCAMP stuff, and give her my full support. So Folk Punk and Indy are going to continue posting these links for you, Liz. Once again, thank you for coming on the show. I'll leave.
Oh my goodness. Thank you.
The rest with you, Nate.
Yeah. So where I first heard you, right, Metalhead Hippie, right? Jeff introduces so many great right. New artists every single week. I mean, like Pete and Thomas and Chad, and just everybody. And he played a song. I think the first song he played, I heard of yours, it was Family. And I'm like, oh, this is cool. So I went over to your channel, and what grabbed me was, like we were talking about, your cocktail hour. And the reason that grabbed me was I'm watching it, and there's this black and white, like we said earlier, this black and white aesthetic, and then like the pinup hair, right? And I see the jazz, and I'm getting like a vaudeville kind of vibe, and that's Tanya, used to own a dance studio, and so we for many years we did recitals and competitions, and my car was just a glitter bomb for a dozen years, and so when I went on, I saw a cocktail hour. I'm like, oh, this is show tunes like at its. I mean, but it was better. And I'm listening to you sing, and I go, this is absolutely incredible. And then you put out this video. You mentioned your vocal cord palsy, which Frank, I know we'll get into that later. I know there's more songs to play and stuff, but
no, this is your show. You're co-hosting. Yeah.
So anyway, you go from the cocktail hour, the black and white aesthetic, the vaudeville, like show tunes, all the stuff that we were around for years, to all of a sudden in your latest video talking about your vocal situation, right? The part one, I see you on stage, and you're just this rip roaring scratch, like Pat Benatar, as like you mentioned with your interview with Jade and the influence she had on you. The range that you got there, can you tell us a little bit about that journey, right? Just kind of going from what you were doing before, like you talked about, kind of getting, pigeonholed into that style, to what you're doing now in the cocktail hour, just where you started and how you got here. I think everybody would be fascinated. Who hasn't tuned into Jade's show would be fascinated to hear that.
Okay.
Yeah. And I would just like to add, for those who are what Nathan is talking about is Liz has put out her latest video. It's called "Singer with Vocal Cord Palsy
Yes.
Part 1," and it's going to be a few more parts to go with. It tells a little bit of her story, but we're going to get a little glimpse of it right now.
Yeah, let's hear a little bit of that journey.
So inspiring.
Well, so to circle back and answer the question about the rock voice and the
Yes.
pigeonholing, yeah, that was a huge part of my life because, well, my first influence in me singing at all was from my mother, who's you can find her on my YouTube channel as well.
I watched that amazing voice.
Yeah. That's how I grew up, with that
Opera, incredible.
Yeah. Very nimble, incredible. Yes, is a good adjective for my mother. But so that was my first influence, was going to see her gigs. And, you know, she's the star of the Eugene Opera. And I'm like, wow, you know, this is amazing. And I would listen to the records, and that was my first, you know, that in church was where I was singing hymns and my mother's opera and operettas and everything. And then my brother brought home Pat Benatar on vinyl, and I just was like, what? What? And I just felt my whole world shifted. You know, and I just went, I want to do that. I want to do that. And I was like just a little sproggy. I was just a little thing, just a child in my Miss Piggy pajamas. And yeah, so I would take those records and I would listen. It was back in the day when you had the record player that had the tape deck inside of it. And I would record bits. Just bits and bits and bits. Like I didn't have, you know, the things that you kids have today, you know, where you could manipulate audio. But I had to manually just sample bits over and over so I could listen to it on a loop over and over and over and over. Because I was like, what is this wizardry? You know?
I used to do that on cassette on my stereo, the dual tape decks. Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, exactly. So I would sing along. And do it that way. I would try mimicking her, and then the belt thing. I just didn't have. I was just a child, and my voice wasn't even you know there yet. But I'd push and push, and I pushed and pushed for years and years because I didn't understand chest tone. I didn't understand how you can get up there with that. But I'm like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I had no friends, very few friends. I was the weirdo in school. Well, some things never change, but and at school I was painfully shy and awkward and weird, but I would walk up to the kids sitting around in the smoking section and stuff, and you know, I'm like, do you want to hear some Pat Benatar? And that would Hell is for Children. I would go all the way from top to tail. I would do the outs and everything, and I would have like businesses coming out. Can you please kind of tone it? Shh. You know, I'm a dentist, right? And I'm like, sorry. And then I just go into
Hell is for Children, and somebody's there getting a root canal, like
acapella. Yeah, I'm like, sorry, but yeah. So, but I started getting better at pushing the that, but using my mother's classical training, still growing as an instrument. So it was all, but fortunately, I with her training. And then I had a few other maestros here and there, but I developed a technique to do it without hurting myself. But it sounds like I'm hurting myself. When my voice went down, it was a popular theory with people who don't know anything about.
That's what I initially thought. When I watched your latest video on the vocal cord palsy, like my first thought was when I saw that clip of you. Doing that. If you get a chance, go on Liz's channel. It's the video of the vocal palsy. It's part 1. In that video, there's a clip of her on stage. It's completely different from what you see on the Cocktail Hour or these amazing like pop songs and modern stuff that Liz is putting out now. That was what I thought was maybe that there was damage that was caused from those years of doing that.
Yeah, no. Yeah, it was a popular theory with I even had a shrink that she listened to it and she was like, "That's what's causing your dysphonia." And I'm like, "Are you an ENT?" Because no, yeah, no. The first thing, because I went to a series of ENTs. You know, I had to go, and that'll be touched on a bit later as well. But
I understand.
it took a while to give me a diagnosis.
Yep.
Oddly enough, but all of them said crystal clear, pristine pipes. Keep keep at it. Keep doing what you're doing because I'm trained I'm trained to sound like I'm destroying myself.
Yeah.
But I'm not. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a filter song, by the way.
Yeah.
That song you're talking about is a filter cover that I did. Hey man, nice shot. Yeah. Hey
Yes.
man, nice shot.
Okay. Okay. Yep. I know the song. Yep.
That riff in that song is like, it's so cool.
Yep. They used to
That was
play
a fun band.
Back in Extreme, back at home, there was a late night radio station called it was X1039, right? They had Extreme X that used to play at night, and that used to be one of the songs that used to play on there routinely. So yeah,
love that song. It's wicked and so fun to play. Remember we were talking about my fiance that passed away in 2011. He's playing guitar in that clip. You can see him. He's like one of the few fellas in that band. Yeah. And the blonde singer next to me, who's just rocking out. She's a dangerous quadruple threat. She's like, she sings like Ann Wilson and plays like Nancy Wilson. She's a really great shredder. And she plays. Yeah. She's in a band I started, called Sway, and they're in Seattle. And, of
course they are.
Yeah, they've continued on. They're a cover band. Yeah, but she has originals as well. But with her, so her and then the fella singing in that band, Chris Forey, was the fella that was singing Fish Heads with me in the cover. Chad, if you're watching, that introduced me to all of you, was my cover of Barnes and Barnes Fish Heads, and he's the handsome fella that's singing with me in that.
That's awesome. How do you, going from that and then going through, your vocal situation, how did you get that back? Like you use that tone for years, and then you basically you're starting from ground zero, like I had to do with my guts, getting back up. Like you're going from, like you were mentioning, like just barely whispering, barely talking, and all of a sudden now, like I hear you on Cocktail Hour, and I'm like, you had a vocal thing going on, like,
oh yeah.
How did you get that back?
Yeah, well, they don't know. Actually, I mean, I was told by the ENT the team that diagnosed me that I'm an anomaly, and that it's in a medical book, a text like anonymous anomaly. That's hard to say at this hour, or ever, because I don't have closure to make phonation, and because my left vocal cord is, like twitchy, and so anyway, I was told to not sing. I had to quit working, and I was told to not sing for at least a year, and I was just like, oh, I died inside. I was just like, how could I possibly? And it was just like not on my radar to have that taken. You know exactly what I mean. I know you do. But so I'm grappling with that. But then part of me was like, nah, I'm going to break doctor's orders. So I was, at the time, I was going through an enormous amount of personal trauma and stress and anxiety, which wasn't helping. And I was moving house, and I was cleaning for the inspection, and I was listening to, I just put on Barry White and, singers of that nature down here. And then I would just I would just kind of sing along gently with whatever notes I could muster. And so I would just kind of keep going on, and it hurt because I had this weird tension going on, and I'll go on to explain a little bit about that theory in the part 2 or 3. And
I loved what you touched on with the when you were getting it back, the the massage specialist that you went to, because that ties into a nervous system thing that I wanted to share with everybody that I think people will be very interested to know about. If you could explain that a little bit, because that was a major role in you not having a voice and then coming out and going, oh, hey, something worked here.
Yeah, and it was like, why are you getting this massage when your vocal cord is paralyzed and we don't know what? Because I mean, I went through MRIs and everything. The first thing they check for is cancer. That's the first thing they look for. But I was clean on everything, and they were like, I don't know why. It might be a virus, you know. So yeah, probably a virus. But I had my duo partner at the time we were just crushed because we were just starting to get momentum and making some nice money around the Hunter Valley region, which is where I live in New South Wales. And so you know, I'd quit and we were like, well, maybe we could save you and you could keep singing and everything, and so it was like last ditch. But he sees that Onsen Bowen guy for his hands, and then also his wife has arthritis, and they go in, and I went in with her, and she walked in like in pain and just like, and she came out bouncing. You know, I'm just like, wow, that's pretty intensely cool. It took me a while to go in, but I went in, and he just was pushing on things, and I have a high threshold for pain and everything like that, so I was just like, you know, he's like, is that okay? I'm like, do your worst, go, you know, just get this, you know, I mean, I have an open mind, but I walked in with a voice like this. It was about like that. That's about as far as I could talk, you know, in that video that I did part one, where I'm really, really trying to show up. Yeah, I couldn't do this. There's no way. But it was, you know, about like this. This is about as good as I could do. That's like shouting. And I was exhausted at the end of that video. But so after the video, I was speaking like a lot more like this. And so it was like, that made me gasp. Okay, this is something else is going on. You know, I mean, it felt like maybe muscular because it felt like this tension. There was a pushing, and I could see like a, you know, those, like a witch's hat on top of it just was like, you can't go past here. You shall not pass. And I'm like, but what about no, forget it. I couldn't do any of that stuff. Yeah. And so yeah, I don't know. I went back and saw him a few times. But that first time really it just cracked me open. And in part 2, you'll see I'm going to demonstrate a little bit of singing. And I even did like a little Shaka Khan. I'm like, how can I do the Shaka Khan song? I'm hitting some Shaka Khan notes, you know, shaky and gently. But, you know, it was hope, the first hope I'd had in the journey, which has been confusing and uncertain and just like, I don't know, you might get better, you might not, you might, you know, be yourself again, you might work again, but you mightn't, you know. And then people would say, well, at least you can play guitar.
I understand, because they told me the same thing when I went in for a procedure that only 9 people that had when I went in. They did the same thing. Oh, there's a chance of death. There's a chance you might gain weight or lose weight. And so I understand what you're saying, you know. And but when you went in and he massaged that out like in your throat, you walked in with hardly speaking. You walked out and you were like, oh, I can talk.
Yeah.
You mentioned something in your video about the trauma and the like nervous system, and I believe it was something, emotions that were part of it, right? You know, everything you've been through that were pent up, and that when massage kicked in, right? People sometimes don't realize what trauma or stress does on your nervous system. Is muscle memory. Your nervous system absolutely remembers everything, because there are times, like I have issues with extreme air because of them poking a hole in my colon lining from the procedure and blah, blah, blah. And there are times, like with your voice, not that it's all psychological, but when you went in and he massaged that out, I had similar things happen with cell regeneration treatments with my guts. And so I understand, and that was explained to me by a very good doctor about the nervous system, and that it remembers trauma and emotion. And it's not just that it's psychological, but sometimes it takes time, and your nervous system actually remembers. It remembers the pain. It remembers the trauma. And so you going in and getting that massage was like me going in for the cell regeneration treatments that got it functioning again. And you're like, oh, hey, it's not just psychological, but it's not just physical. Like there's emotions and trauma that were addressed with that too. And the nervous system is a funny thing, and it's just it can get damaged just as much as you can emotionally and physically. So I found that part of your story fascinating, because I went through that, and I understand exactly what, maybe not the exact situation, but I understand exactly what it was like to go through that. So I was just fascinated by that.
So I'm going to interrupt a little bit, because I don't want the I think
Frank, you got a
everybody wants
handful
to
today
hear.
with me and Liz. So
I've got my hands full. Trust me. No, it's all good. It's all good. I just want to make sure that the everybody out there is listening to some music as well. But I do want to continue just a few shout outs before we get into the next song. Dwight Carr has a single released, Little Girl with Green Eyes. Diane Shepherd, another true follower of my channel, and I'd like to introduce her to all these other channels, these communities. Did a crossover lyric soprano. Donna Mitchell, composer, arranger, another brilliant pianist, put out a nice piece called The Girl with Flaxen Hair. Ricochet, many of us already know who they are, put out a nice track called Baby Blue. Avid Beats, really cool magnetic field. It's like club banger music. You'll enjoy that. And a band that I'd like to introduce everybody to, if we can all go check this out. I do have 3 in here. I don't know how I missed it, but it's okay. I actually have 4 here. Really cool dark techno Jersey club type beats. He put the band's called Crank, and it's amazing production work. And hopefully after this show, I can convince him to start to share some of the music to Metalhead Hippie and a lot of these other channels out there. Please go stop by. That's the only way this is all going to work. Caitlin's Compositions, another brilliant pianist. And I think I've already said drummer for life, but he gets a shout out, another one here, drum cover at TLC's, all of that. And then B Green Beats, how to chop samples in FL Studio, a real cool channel, brand new to me. And yeah, I've got a few more shout outs, but I really want to get into the next song, if that's okay with you, Liz. And you've got the folk punk sway. The last time we saw this, it was folk punk warming up before he started to spin around. So this next song,
has our headphones though.
Yeah. I think he did too.
The last one he did, yeah. Yeah.
This song's called The Hardest Part. I know it's about struggles people go through. You want to talk a little bit about it before I hit play?
This was one of my this is one of my my grief songs. I was in a very dangerous place after Brian passed away. I went through a lot of dark stuff, and this was me. The song originated from me talking to me like, don't go down like that. He wouldn't like that. Your mom wouldn't like that. Your friends don't want it. Get yourself together. Come on, you can live through this. And then as the years went on, it just became songs for other people going through other things, and I would just continue to, develop it and put it out. And most recently, I wrote it, when I put it out, I essentially dedicated it to my mother, who's lost the most wonderful husband ever with my stepfather, Donald Aday. So yeah, so it was really special, and I pushed it out. Drew and I worked on getting it out there in time for close to the time where it was his his anniversary of his passing. So
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
That's incredible.
Now, something is supposed to play here.
Hey, sad eyes. You're complicated. You seem to be a lot like me. And we are dust. Every one of us. Does it feel like your number next? Is that how it seems to be? But wake up, pull it together, climb on out of your head. It's the only way. Go outside, take some air. You gotta get out of bed, make a move and find. The hardest part is done. The hardest part is done. Hey. I know you don't sleep, and worry is your ever-present enemy and constant company. Now you're rattling around a lonely house, searching for a thread to hold you together and tether you down. Wake up, get it together, climb on out of your head. It's the only way. Take a walk with me. I know you're tired, but I need you to make a move. But you gotta push through and trust. So come on, Get out of bed. Hey, it's the only way. And wake up, pull yourself together, get out of your head. If you can make it through a minute, you can survive this day. Wake up, it's gonna get better, I guarantee. No, it won't all go away, but you'll have a beautiful sky. The old ways are done, but a new day will start. Yeah, you choose to go out and make a move.
Wow. Okay.
Awesome.
How beautiful is that?
Awesome track. Your range and just the diversity that you have in your music. Like, I'm kind of jealous because like I'm not it's I'm not going to say I'm a one trick pony, but like, you know, we can do folk and rock, hard rock, like, you know, what your earlier days, like that's my wheelhouse. But I listened to, that was one of the first things that stood out before I even went to your looked at some of your other videos on your channel, was I'm like, man, you are modern, but you're vintage, but it's eclectic, but it's good. Like, there's so much. And then the not advertisements, but some of the spots you were doing to get in for sync licensing, right? Like not jingles or whatever you would call them, right? Like the stuff you're making for the what did Jade call it? The stuff you put on your toast or whatever in Australia. It starts with a V.
Oh, Vegemite. That was a
Yes.
that was a contest. Yeah,
Yes.
I entered. Yeah.
But I can't. I don't hear those melodies. Like, I don't hear those riffs. And I'm looking at the range and diversity that you have, and you're just a musical powerhouse. There's like all of this range and diversity there.
I'm a sponge, and I surrounded myself with monster talents. As I was throughout my entire career. So I was really fortunate to be around some massive monsters, and I was never satisfied until I was able to work with them.
Yeah.
And be able to not just be the little, the guy that might fall to pieces, and it's going to be a part of a cutting session to, it's like, get off the stage, kid.
Right.
You're stinking up the joint, But, I wanted to get to the point where I could just hold my own. And most recently was when, after Brian died, I quit all my bands because I just couldn't, especially obviously the ones that he was in. I just, I quit Sway, I quit Sugar Pill, the band that did that Filter song. And and the only one I kept doing was an original all-female band where I was the guitarist for, and he really loved that and believed that in that show. So I stuck with them. But then after that, I needed to make money because So I did join a show called Wally and the Beeves in the Seattle area, and that was really fun because it was all that vintage stuff that I love. And but the music director for the fella behind it is just I used to call it Wayne School or the Ledbetter School of Music. I would go in there, and the guy, would have these charts, and it was just like, okay, let's go. We would work on it during break or before the show, and I'm like, yeah, right, okay. And I was the guitarist for that band, so I started out as just the guitarist and did some characters, but then it turned into something more. But anyway, so I've always been around just insanely talented mentors, teachers. So yeah, but yeah, been lucky in that capacity. Blessed.
That's
So
yeah.
yeah, and I've had a chance to go through, still not enough, go through a lot of Liz's stuff through her channel, and Nate's enthusiasm, excitement is real. You all have to go check out her channel in depth, and you're going to see the diversity he's talking about, and all this incredible work she's doing. And what he was saying earlier, you go from one stream like
Yeah.
the vocal cord palsy, then you go into the jeepers, I forgot the name of the stream, the cocktail hour, and then
Yeah,
you go
my
into
favorite.
her music. Even the images, it's like everything is just from one video to the next, whether it's a stream or a video, it's just so different. Everything you do,
Yep.
and you can tell I can tell that you're an all in, like you put it all out there, and to each one, and yeah, we are watching and listening to an incredible talent that I think there's a future, and we're going to be part of this, and an incredible person. And once again, I'm so glad that you came up on this on the panel.
Yeah,
And
thanks Jeff. Thanks Jeff for playing Metalhead Hippie, for playing that, because that's how I stumbled across you, was just
Wild.
But,
Yeah. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Chad. Thanks, Jade. Thanks
all
all
of
of you.
yep.
Appreciate it. All of
and
you,
it's
really.
and that's and again, this is what the community is all about, right? So Chad introduced her, from what I gather, Chad introduced her to our community, and then it just spreads from there, right? Metalhead Hippie Jeff is never wastes any time by picking up somebody's track, and we're glad he did. And this was what it's all about, right? And hopefully today we can get a few more people to go towards the Patreon that she has going, her BANDCAMP page. And like I said, if there was that little thing, if you can work on that, and on Friday, I'm telling you right now, Jeff will push that BANDCAMP channel for you. And yeah, this is what you do for a living. We get to enjoy it. I'm a huge fan of music, as everybody knows. And I'll be right there to support it. I will, as I promised you, I'm buying the discography, and I can't wait. And I'm looking forward to listening to what's next. And that's pretty cool.
I humbly thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Well, you know what? This is you deserve it. You're putting in
Aw.
the work. You're giving us some beautiful, fantastic music. Most of us are musicians, so we're not just blowing smoke, you know.
No.
We know what we're talking about,
Yeah.
and you deserve it all. I'm going to throw out a few mentions. Gary Hubbs, don't forget the Saturday morning. It's 2 a.m. Eastern time. I almost got there again this week. He has set up a Patreon if you want to go check out Gary.
Man, that's a hard stream to make.
Yeah,
It's so much fun, but I get done with Lori's panel, I'm like, guys, I got to tap.
Yeah, for us that
tapping out.
live in the East, it is tough.
It's rough.
And then we got set up by Marshall, another great channel. Lady Campion has her new show called Dinner Music Wednesday between 7 and 8. And she also has a premiere coming out on Thursday. I think it's at 7:30. if somebody, I'm not sure if the premiere set up, but if you just go to her channel, you can find
Yeah,
it
I
there.
think it is because I've got the I remember clicking the notification for that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
wonderful, wonderful.
It's set up. She taught me
Yeah.
how to do that. So
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, no, she sent me an email, and then I don't even know if I checked. Sorry. Jovel, she's in the chat. She's relatively new to our community. She has her open mics. Go check out the channel there. Development of a Void. He's usually on morning times here in the east. Usually he's around 10 a.m. Great channel. Music Therapy Laz. Together We Are Family. A couple great channels, and a couple buddies of mine. I know I saw the Art of Floundering podcast in the chat. Rich New Design. Really funny dude. Love Rich. Wes. Preston Smith has his live streams Wednesday night. Michael Lanthier has a great show every Tuesday at 7:30, or is it changed to 8? I forgot to ask. Vince Janella, obviously Monday nights, right after this show, pretty much, I think at 9 o'clock. Rick Romanelli, he's got Guitar Time with Rick. He's usually on Mondays around 5:30. Axe and Nachos Monday nights and Wednesday nights live. Amazing talent. Charlie Gabaldin, he's got Happy Friday streams, and then he started Happy Sunday streams, as well as every Tuesday at 8 o'clock Eastern time. He has a new release of a cover. The Foul Crow, 15th Ben calls him the Foul Bro.
Yeah.
Wednesday nights. I love that. The Mix Club. Rhett does a great job. You won't be disappointed when you go to his channel. Lars Guitars, who's going to be featuring as a co-host here. Valerie Bott, Fridays, and she's got every Friday and Sundays, she's got the Friday Sun Club and What the Flock. Mama Rose channel, I saw her here earlier. I'm glad to see you. Rise of Dark Leela, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays at 3:30 p.m. Pendar does a lot of great things on her channel. Angela Tanzer, I'm just going to go through these so we can continue talking. And then we got Michael Songs on Sundays and Wednesdays. I believe it's every other Sunday. And Chris Lane and Dom Torgrassa, they did a really nice show. I wanted to give them a shout out for this past stream. Really cool stuff coming out of that, and I've put both their links in there. Chris doing music every Monday at 12:30 Eastern time. I was there today. I don't think I've missed many. A brilliant pianist, amazing supporter of all our channels. I don't think he gets enough people to stop by his. JM Unleashed has Words Matter, fun interactive games like Scrabble and such. Thursdays at 5 p.m. Guitar Hack with his album reviews. CC Karaoke. If you go to his channel, any song you want to sing karaoke to, he's got it uploaded onto his channel. Boltonator's got a really cool show. I did want to shout out a channel that I came across, just a nice family, husband and wife. I watched their first stream for when they're talking about retiring. They've retired. They bought a minivan, and from the minivan they went into a trailer, and they just go right across the U.S. It's good for a Canadian boy like me to see some of the parts that I'll probably never be able to get to go.
I'm jealous. I would love
Because
to
they
see
just don't want me there. Seco 7, great channel. Love what he's doing. He's working really hard to bring his channel to life, and I think he's doing a great job. Camp Gme, Hippie called it. I think it was June 6th. It's a metal, but I'll get more detail on that. And that's it for the shout-outs. I get to shut up and just listen. 15th Ben, my man, what's going
I know.
on?
It's funny. I'm just typing that because I can't multitask.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to get my my usual 15th greeting in right now. So There it
And
is.
another, I didn't say this enough. The at the beginning of the show, you've got the Metalhead Hippie. Don't forget, everybody in my chat that hasn't already done East Virginia, Rose. I'm not sure if you already did because I haven't been feeling good the last week or so. But things are getting a little better. So I've been away, but I hope you're all sending Metalhead Hippie 15th Bend your tracks, and so he can play them and he can promote your channel. You've got Jade Starr, obviously, every Thursday at 6 p.m. Last week, she was quick to text me right away and said it's 6 p.m., not 5 p.m. So it's 6 p.m. And obviously, everybody knows Chad's on Saturday, and he has a lot of other shows going on. This is how we met Liz. We have Thomas Christ Wednesdays, 7 o'clock. There's another channel I think you all should be sending your music to. Love you, Jeff. Rock on, brother. There's so many. Did I miss one? Ron Mord. I'll be calling him Mr. Inconsistency. Whenever I don't go to his channel, Folk Punk says he's on. Whenever I do, Folk Punk says he's not. So, but he's a great guy. And I think I've covered them all. Independent Many United. No, I didn't. And how dare I? So Friday nights, she's got an incredible show. Liz, you would love it. Stop by.
He's
It's open. Yeah. It's an open panel. She sees you in the chat, and if you nod your head right now, she'll send you a link. I'm telling you, for her Friday night show. And you get to perform if you like. If you're all set up, you get to sing for us. Indy, are you watching this? We're in. Love it.
Liz is a shoo-in
Yeah.
for that. I mean,
I'm
look,
keen.
look at her setup. She's ready to go right now.
Yeah, that's awesome. And that is where I'm going to end. I hope I didn't miss anybody. Hetriani, look at that. My two brothers are in the house. Yes.
The Shredmeisters are in the chat. You guys rock.
Yeah.
Speaking of the chat, I'm not even seeing it because I didn't.
So that's why I noticed and that's why I've been trying to, so what I'm going to do is give us this view so I can start showing all the love that you're getting in here.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So
Thank you.
I'm going to leave it to you guys so I can get to know Liz, and I'll focus on this chat.
Hey, would it be all right if I continued talking about the vocal
Please.
journey?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I was at the part where I was, cleaning for the move, the move and everything like that, and singing along gently, just whatever I could do. And then after that, see, I'd been streaming audio shows since like 2008 in Second Life. Some of you might know what that is, but if you watch The Office America, the American Office with Dwight Schrute. Dwight Schrute had
don't even get me. I have a thing with an Instagram buddy. Like we send Office stuff back and forth all the time. So.
Oh yeah, it's a big thing here. We really like both UK and US, but we probably seen the US one. So,
which one, the UK or the American one? Which one would you really both?
Yeah,
wow. Okay.
But I've seen the American one probably twice as many times, which is like a lot.
It to me, it's yeah. I'm not gonna say it. To me, it's the better one. It's good.
A lot of people feel the same way, and then some feel the other way.
Sure.
Yeah, but I love it all. I quite enjoy Ricky Gervais because Ricky Gervais. But yeah, and his offshoot. I just watched again that film that he did, showing like him being the boss, like quitting and going on tour with this band that he's writing this terrible music for. Oh, it's so good. You really should see. It's quite funny. It's like the Spinal Tap of I don't know, the BBC or something. But well, I was talking about The Office. Why? Oh, because of Second Life. Yeah.
Notice I didn't
off the bus.
Notice I didn't jump in because I was like I forgot where we were at too. So I'm just like, please keep going.
good company. This is great. Yeah. So I was then my healing family. I have this really great community in Second Life that looked after me when Brian died, and I was homeless after that. I was shattered. I couldn't work, and I had no. I mean, we were barely scraping by at the time anyway, and then I was like not on the streets because I have a really good network, but I would have been if it weren't for them. They raised funds for me to get my little, what I called my healing hovel. It was like this little cottage on the back end of a friend of a friend's home. So anyway, long story short, I started singing in Second Life again with just reading. Because I've always liked trip hop and weird things like that. So I was doing live looping, trippity hoppity weird things, and I would maybe just speak a part or just really gently use what I had at the time, because it's this ever changing, like it's like sand and water coming, because you never, it's just like this, that it's an unsteady journey to try to perform with what I've been given to perform with. And but I arrived and showed up, and those people loved me through the whole process. And as I was getting a bit stronger, I was at a little cafe here locally. I live on the beautiful Lake Macquarie, which is this gigantic saltwater lake. There's sharks and everything in it. It's just like amazing. There's, you've got dolphin and all kinds of things here. I can just walk literally 2 minutes, less than a minute, like right there. I'm like right on the lake, which is wonderful for healing.
We're in Kentucky, so we look behind me and we've got our woods and raccoons.
Nice.
It would be nice to be on the lake and have that scenery.
Oh, it's so good. It's really good for me. I feel like I'm here for a reason. I love it. I just hope it never ends or or upgrades to the ocean or something. But I love the water. It just helps. But I was talking about the and I went to this little bistro that has changed hands several times since. But they had this young lady in there playing piano and singing gently, just like little dinner music. And I was like, I could do that. I could do that. I could do this. And I was terrified. And it's so funny because my whole life I was like, meh, whatever, get the gig, don't even. But I was just, my heart was like this when I gave them my card, and I was just like, ugh, and got their deets and everything like that. And I was just like, oh my gosh, they're going to find out I'm broken and I can't do this. And oh my gosh, what if I get, so my anxiety, which is a condition I've had my whole life, anxiety, depression, that's a whole nother topic. But yeah, I was just like, my heart. And, but I got the gig. I went home and made the little clips, and I got the gig. And, but I was just I went back to my jazz roots, the real book,
right.
Just went right in there. And, I had I would capo a lot, if I was, okay, that's, how's my voice today? Well, it's funny, oddly enough, this register would be missing on certain days. And then I would only have this up here to work with, and if that that's fine. So but Billie Holiday was my healing voice, because she was like a little fragile teacup on the edge of just falling off the but it would come back, and I'm like, well, that's me, so I jumped. That was my brand. I did my hair in pin curls, and I would show up with this mic and do those old-timey standards, but then I would also do my old spin on Tainted Love. I would do it as a a jazz thing, and and people
perfect
people kind of went for that, and it was fun. And that was my first toe back in the water, really gently eating the mic and just using my very carefully.
Great songs for technique too. Great songs to start off, with proper technique too. So.
Yeah, and then I started getting my feet, and I started doing more like Ella Fitzgerald, and just really clean runs, and just really clear. No distorted vocals, just like really gentle, clear belting. Belting until. But it was very unpredictable. So it was hard for me to say yes to joining the duo again. I didn't trust me because I was the only singer in that act, and I couldn't do. Partly because my stamina was impaired so much. I was afraid, how could I possibly do, a 2-hour gig? but I did. I did it, and it got easier and easier. And then some days it would kind of slip back, like when we had the bushfires in 2019, 2020.
Right.
That was like really hard to breathe in, and I was in America for part of that, and I watched because people were like, "Oh, you're Australian, you're on fire right now," and I'm like, "Yeah," and because they see it on the telly, but they showed while I was there, they showed a clip of a fireman dancing in the rain, and then I never saw it on television again. But it was just like having just throwing a thimble of water on a bonfire. I mean, it was still burning because I was still getting messages from home showing me what was going on. It was really,
and that's brutal too with that, because we had the same situation. We had lived in an area that had a lot of brush and stuff, and we've had to evacuate several times back at home in California with fires. And when that happened, Tanya's voice, we had times where we had gigs, and we had times where we had other events that we were doing and stuff, and her voice just, but it goes like what you're saying, like with the technique and stuff, like if you're taught right and how to, like Tanya can completely lose her voice, but she could still sing. She can still sing a song because it's coming from a different, she just comes from a different place, and so that comes with training and technique, but totally get with the fire thing, because I've seen it happen to her multiple times.
Yeah, it's rough, but luckily it hasn't been that bad since. But it just rained and rained for years after that. But so I went back to America for a long stay, but also to work. I wanted to get back on stage, but I was lucky enough to do the Wally and the Beef show again as a cameo artist or a supplemental singer, because I was too nervous to be the only singer in a band, and where other people are depending on me.
Right.
Forget it. Yeah, it's okay when I'm solo. I could even just do instrumentals with my, you know what I mean? Guitar, but when other people are counting on me to show up and do the gig and the show that's rehearsed or worked out, who rehearses? But the cool thing was my voice was like really locked up, and I just slid in and did Marilyn Monroe, which was great. It was perfect for this little tiny voice. So, boop boopy doo. And I was back, and then just singing, backing, and just eased into it. So that's how I kind of got back in, and then Cocktail Hour happened, and, ups and downs. If you get wild and look at the really early stuff where I just had like this terrible Android phone microphone, just like with my PA, and this terrible production, dropping and freezing. Yeah. But it was still black and white, though. But
the aesthetic's always been there.
Yes.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
sorry.
It's okay. I want to jump in and let's play one of your next tracks. And this next one is She'll Be Right. You want to talk a little bit about that before we hit play, and then we'll continue?
I'll be brief as possible. I'm putting out, all these singles are going to be 2 different albums. All the singles you see on my Bandcamp and in distribution. There's 2 albums out. One that are going to come out. One's called It's Complicated, and the other one's called Onslaught of Sunshine. And She'll Be Right is one of the first Onslaught of Sunshine songs. So, it's more upbeat, clearly. And the other one's more, angsty and complicated.
All right, let's do it.
I think it's time for something better, don't you? Open a window, open time to start again. An empty picture, aching for painting. Choices to make, paths to take. Something in our dreams has been echoing, saying it's alright, hold your head up, it's a new day. Maybe check something unexpected. You've been wishing and hoping, so do something right now. It should be right. 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 Get yourself in the sun, better clear your head up. Get yourself in the sun, in the sun. Get yourself in the sun, better clear your head up. Get yourself in the sun, in the sun. Get yourself in the sun, better clear your head up. Get yourself in the sun, in the sun. Get yourself in the sun, better clear your head up. Get yourself in the sun, in the sun. Should be right. Should be right. Should be right.
How is that not on the radio?
It's impossible. And from what I remember, with the interview with Jade, like, didn't you? I remember you mentioning that everything is content, right? That you got your phone you carry everywhere, and you're always deleting old stuff because there's just no room, because everything is content that you film everywhere you go. But didn't you mention that you went to a local beach for some of that footage? Was it that video?
Yeah, that was actually, gosh, what was in that video? Yeah, no, it was just little clips of, day trips and things to the beach or the lake or whatever. Cause, but yeah, and it was just, that's all my content, everything that was on there. I try for my original stuff to only use my stuff, but every now and then something extra cool from that. I forgot the name of it. The little site where you get the free. I see the free vid. Like my brain is bottlenecking right now. Sorry, I can't even.
I know sometimes Tan uses free stuff from Canva. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's not that. It's like free, and
Okay.
oh darn it, yeah, it's not sample. I forget it. I don't remember. It's just a link that I press and I go straight there. Drew sent it to me. Hey, Mr. Smith. Hi. I just want to say there's so many of you that I have gotten to know and just love, and many of you that I haven't gotten to know yet. But I want you to know I have deep appreciation and affection for all of you. So thank you for showing up and being interested in my weird stuff.
Well, thank you for coming into our community. We are blessed. It's I'm sure you've got so much you can start to like I said, to send some of these tracks out to so we can all get caught up to all of what you've got. Your library is quite. I went through your BANDCAMP and there was, what did I count? 7, 4, 8, 12, 16. I think I counted 19.
It's not all of them.
That.
I'm sitting on them. Yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because I know I've got to do this, because I was just like, time, tomorrow isn't promised. So if you want to leave a footprint here, you better get up. You better hurry up, quit talking and start rocking.
Send those. You heard it here first, folks. Liz, quit talking, start rocking. So that's going to be highlighted. Yeah, see, I'm getting old. That I had a thought and I was going to say something that's completely gone. So
We're cut from the same cloth, hey?
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try to go back and get it. It's gone.
We were backstage earlier, and I don't know if you guys realize how many times you both said that. I forgot what I was saying. I lost my train of thought.
Like to say I fell off the bus. Gotta get back.
There's a lot of bus falling over here. My brain just flat gets run over. It's horrible. But no, I know everybody in the community is the reactions are just rave. Oh, that's what I was gonna say. The links that your older links, don't be afraid, send those in. What we did, we have some older songs from our Storyteller EP that we were in between like music videos. We've got a lot of music videos slated for the next 2 or 3 months. And while if we have a down week, I'll go through some of our old releases and I'll send those to Jeff and Pete and Thomas and just everybody. So please send those songs in your back catalog to these channels. Keep yourself in circulation, because I know everybody here who hasn't had a chance to go watch them, I know they would love some of these songs, and I think they need to be played. Like, the world needs to hear them. So, and
nothing like new, fresh content,
right? Because it might be old to you, but it's new to us.
The thing is, Cocktail Hour was mostly covers, and I had kind of stopped working on the originals. I mean, I continued, but I wasn't really sharing it because I just didn't think people cared. It's just like people wanted covers and they wanted me to be a clown, and I was okay with that because the world needed that. 2020. I was like, we're not going to talk politics. We're not going to do. I mean, I just wanted one place where divided people could come together and just have a laugh. So that's where that came from. I didn't want to get like cathartic or anything like this. I wanted to keep it goofy. And so I have a lot of really goofy stuff. Stupid. Imagine. It's kind of like public access cable TV in with like just iffy DIY, bad campy writing, and it's just But
it's so fun. It's so fun though. Like when like it's not just the aesthetic, and I mean, because you get that having that niche, right? Wherever your niche is, like you have it. So when you go watch like the Cocktail Hour, like you know what you're getting, I mean, just the hair and the old timey footage, the reel and just you know what you're getting, and it's fun. And I think everybody needs that, because there's enough stress and anxiety and everything going on just during the week. Because Tanya and I had talked about starting a live stream and something where people come on and just have a laugh, I mean, I was thinking like, what funny band stories, because like there's enough, like Frank said, there's so many channels sharing music. What Frank offers is, something different, right? It's a news bulletin, everything that's happened during the week within the community. You've got the Cocktail Hour, and like you said, all those components, the campiness, funny, it's covers, all of this fun stuff, and that's your niche, and you get that instantly when you get on and watch that show. So I think you've done a fantastic job putting that together.
Thank you. Well, I try to mix the originals in there too, but as far as going back into my backlog, I mean, you're going to get like Darth Vader singing Comfortably Numb, like hello.
I was going to ask, is that a Jade influence?
What?
Your Darth Vader?
No, that came before Jade. For me, but it was funny because we were having a chat in this setup, whatever this is, StreamYard, and I saw she had a Darth Vader happening in the background, and I was just like, wow, my Darth Vader looks really good. Oh, that's hers, like, because this is just like this. I found this at the omp shop. It was just like, 5 cents or something like that. But yeah, it's a child's mask. I had to put blue tack on the eyes because it digs into my eyes so bad. And I had to poke the eyes out so that I could emote. It's really hard to emote with Darth Vader without my eyes going, So I might put some of that stuff out there. soon. I mean, like chop it up and share like as new content, because it is.
Sure.
It's just been brought to my attention again how stupid it is.
Oh,
and
it's absolutely repurpose some of that old content. Absolutely, because again, what's old to you is new to everyone here. So I know people would love to see that. I would.
I would.
Okay. All right.
Yep, yep.
I'll do. I can do. Would be
I
happy
want to
to.
shout out some of the shows that I have coming up, some of the guests that we have. And I want, I hope Jim Heber is still in the chat. But next week, it's going to be Volusion as our special featured artist, with Jim Heber as the co-host. And then May 6th, we have Michael Thompson with Folk Punk being a co-host for that. And I can't wait for that. Michael's music does something special to me. It takes me back to places like 1972 when I was 6-7 years old, and just listening to some real cool classic rock and roll. Hugh Caldwell and Me, Myself, and iPhone. Ben being the featured artist and Hugh being the co-host. That'll be on the 13th of May. Then the May 20th, we have Mike and Don Genesi. 15th, Ben being the co-host. And Thomas Christ is going to be co-hosting for Scapular Winging Records on May 27th. And we are booked right into June 3rd. We have Georgia J. And then we have with Lars Guitars as the co-host. Lars, maybe I should have asked you first. But then we, I just realized maybe I should have stopped there. I didn't highlight that one. But we also have Viv Sparrow, Hetriani, David Joshua. We're going to run a test tonight.
As an all-star
15th
lineup
Ben
right
sent me, I don't know where I put it, but we've got a few more. So we are booked right into now the end of July. I'm keeping Canada Day, which falls on a Monday, July 1st. I want to do something special and bore you guys with a whole bunch of Canadian content maybe. But we'll see. But that is 3 days away from your July 4th. So we'll see what we do. But that's what we have coming up on the show. And I really appreciate all the support that this show is getting from so many of you. Again, this show is designed for all of us. As you can see, all I'm doing is the guy manning the chat. And Nate's doing all the interviewing. And,
well, I think because like we've already established, you can't shut up. So it worked out perfectly.
Yeah, that's it's like I don't know. While you guys were talking, and I get all weird sometimes. Maybe that's why I'm able to write some music. But when you guys were talking, it was like looking at two people spinning the skipping rope and expecting me to jump in while you were talking. That's not. So, anyways,
It's funny. Like I feel right at home. Like talking to Liz, it just felt like it felt natural. Like I don't know why. Maybe we're just very similar that way.
No, I think it's and the show's gone well. Really, I'm really enjoying getting to be involved with the chat just by highlighting their comments. I can tell they're having a blast. And what I would like to play, best and worst.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell us about that before I hit play, and then we can chat some more.
What do I say about best and worst? It's going to go on to the It's Complicated. Although Drew was like, it should go on Onslaught, but I think it should go on Complicated because to me it's just super sad. I mean, it has an upshot, but it's a deeply personal thing that, you know, just about my little troubled head and you know whatnot. So yeah, it's just one of those songs that just fell on my head. It was one of the first songs I ever wrote in Australia. Yeah, so it's old, but it's finally seeing the light of day as is my mission right now, to get all these old ideas and the new ones like Family that are just coming to me, out there. So yes, I was like, how do I produce this? Do I build it up and make it into a, pop thing or no? Oh, I'm sorry.
No. I
starting.
didn't mean to hit play. No, that was me.
Okay, I'll wind it up really quickly. But I decided to keep it really. That's okay. It's all good. I decided to keep it just to like a kick drum, because I'm not. I mean, as big as it gets. I didn't want it to get too big. Except, for the bridge, it kind of builds up. But, it could have gone so many ways. But I thought I would keep it either just guitar vocal or, or this. So.
And I love this song.
Thank you.
Can't wait. Let's hear it, man.
Bring out the best and worst in me. Upset all the bits in the back of my tired old stories. I'm shedding skin I never knew I had to give. You bring out the best and worst in me. Bring me the comfort I seek. Coax me down from my tree. Untangle the web of my haunted history. You bring out the best and worst may. Sing me down gently. Oh, it's a long way down. You're tearing at my strings and unraveling. That's when I retreat. But try and catch me. Can you find a way? I used to be too terrified to sleep. Too tied up to be rested. Yeah, 'cause when the quiet comes, you feel everything. You bring out the best and worst in me. I'm throwing punches and I'm coming clean. You bring out the best and worst. Hey.
is. That's just amazing.
Thank you.
The production on all of your songs are they're just top notch. I mean, I get jealous because I listen to the vocal treatment, and then I listen to like there's so many things that I'm just like, you when you hear somebody that actually like knows what they're doing, like you hear all the little things and you're going, man, I've got so much work to do. I've got so much to learn.
I gotta say something there. Hold on.
Love the eyes. Love the
Thank
eyes.
you. That was I nearly didn't do. But the production, that's been holding me back because I can write and play instruments and record things, and I'm fine with that end of it. But the mixing and mastering has been the thing that I make really good demos, and then I found my mentor, or he found me, because of a friend in Canada. I wanted to say, because you mentioned Canada Day, made me circle back to another a huge blessing in my life, which is Joel from a band called Red Heaven. And I have so many friends that need to be seen, and he's not being seen, and he's prolific and he's great. But anyway, he introduced me to a group of creatives because I was absolutely having a breakdown. Not well. I was very sick. I have chronic migraines, vestibular, all, ocular, every kind of migraine. Just like I had a migraine for 95% of 2022 through 2023. Anyway, he introduced me to Digital Drew, who is my mentor, and he's teaching me. And I'm getting to the point where with his guidance, I'm mixing and getting mixes where he's like, oh, that's really close, let's just do and we're good, and then I'll send it to him and he'll master. But so that's like a new superpower thanks to his training. But he also played bass on that track. I want to point that out because I forgot to mention that. I usually play all the instruments, but occasionally, because I was going to just leave it guitar vocal, but then we did build it up a little bit. I added that kick in, and then I think he might even replace that kick with another sound. I'm not sure.
Oh, it built up nicely. Yeah, I love those bass lines in there. That it added a whole other layer. Like I think that whole tone would have been completely different. I mean, I don't state the obvious, but you could tell it sounded so good. It's so nice to have that mentorship too. Like for I know a lot of us here, guys like Pete. If you started off, if you're doing garage band like us, or to have somebody there when you've got those studio questions, it's so nice because I know trying to do some stuff ourselves, it gets so convoluted and so complicated, and then it at times it crushes creativity because like you hit this block wall because you're like, okay, I have this song. You've got all these melodies, you've got these harmonies, you've got these riffs in your head, and then you go to record it, and you're like, well, it's there, but you're like, how do I get it to that industry standard, which is what I think all of us, it's what we're striving to do. So to have that mentor and in the digital age here, right? To be able to find a YouTube video, and next thing you know, you've learned everything that you need to know from these videos. I mean, it's nice to have, and to have somebody in person that you can chat with and go back and forth. Man, what a plus. That's so valuable.
The fellowship is just changed my life because
bouncing ideas off of and everything.
Is this crap? It sounds like crap to me now because I've heard it so many times, and it's like, no, it's amazing to have that kind of input because when Brian died, I lost that and I never really got it back again. So yeah, it's just, it's another one of those things where I was like right to the edge in life and I was just falling apart and I was breaking and I was just like, help, I was screaming to the sky, like, help me. Why am I here? Am I really meant to just work at Best and Less and just quit this? I feel like I'm meant to do this. And am I right or am I wrong? Show me. because I need help right now. And then the next day, or within hours, Joel in Canada reached out to me and said, hey, I noticed you know, and we started talking about King Crimson, and he was like, hey, let's do a collaboration on a King Crimson song. And that turned into inviting me to this like support group for creative people.
Yeah.
Which saved my life. Another one of the things that saved my life. And then Chad reaching out, Chad the Good, that was at the same point. I was just like, help again. I lost. I don't believe it. You need to. I don't believe it anymore again. So show me if I'm on the right path. And then boom, Chad the Good reached out about hardest part, and that's what really got my attention. At first, you know, it was fun because he reached out about fish heads, which was just, I felt like it was lovely and like, that's fun.
Yeah.
Have a good time with it, you know, do it. But I was just like, it's people just wanting me to be a clown doing covers and everything. That's cool. And I was fine with that. But then when he liked the song that I thought nobody would get, you know, except for my circle of damaged people in the broken heart, you know, lost, you know, club. But
Isn't
anyway.
isn't it funny too how like I could tell like with you like the joy is like you're a songwriter, and you could tell that there's a different, like for me, like collabing and covers and stuff, like we very rarely do those if like ever at all, because my joy is songwriting. I love painting, you know, that's my you know, canvas, and you know music is paintbrush, and isn't it great, like you mentioned, you know, which stood out to me, the doing covers, you know, people want me to do that, oh, you know, it's fun, sure, I'll do that, but you could tell like your joy, like what you love doing, you know, is the songwriting, your original material. And like not all musicians have that, like, and some love doing covers, and that's great, you know, but I could tell like with you, it's the same with me. Like I have a story to tell. I have material. I have like a melody or riff or a hook or something that's mine, and I want everybody to hear it. And so that shit, it's cool. Like when you said that, because like I totally relate to that.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love covers, and I love making people happy
Covers are
with
great.
them. I love doing it, but I like to make them weird, or if they're not already weird, I'm going to make them weirder, right, Chad?
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, that's just kind of my little stamp. Because look, I spent many years in tribute shows where you had to do it by the note, look like the artist, you know, do the hair and makeup and everything like that.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know, that kind of thing, and that's cool and everything. However, it kind of broke my brain a little bit in a good way.
Sure.
Yeah, to want to like really screw it up. And then I found while I was onto that like idea of taking the old timey thing and messing with like 80s covers was my first thing doing. I found a postmodern jukebox doing that, and I'm like, well, that's cool. So, but yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen, but it's quite brilliant. Postmodern jukebox.
I haven't, but I will now.
Oh, they do like big band versions of contemporary music.
Yeah.
And then there's Puddles the clown. Is it Puddles? There's this great big gigantic clown. He looks like he's come out of a Betty Boop cartoon from the 20s. Oh, and what his voice. He's got this huge, ginormous voice. Puddles, I think it is. Anyway, I'm getting off topic, but that, well, not really, because I'm talking about, you know, how covers can be also an original sort of expression, you know, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna intervene a little bit, and we're at the last song, but I wanted to make sure that everybody, just a reminder, 15th Bend is back up this Thursday. He was off last Thursday. He is going live Thursday. And please don't forget, Thomas Christ is on Tuesday night. If you want to submit any tracks to Thomas's show, You Rock, on Wednesday night. And then we got 15th Bend on Thursday night. Feel free, anybody out there who hasn't already, submit some tracks, stop in. Liz, I hope you can send some tracks that way also.
Sure.
Yeah, please do. You can find him through anybody, through his email. Just go to his channel. You'll find all the links where you can send it to him. We obviously have Metalhead Hippie on Friday. I have a little promo I do every Friday, and I think I'm going to stay consistent with it, starting with Jeff's show at 4 p.m. And then it goes on to Independent Many's United's stream, which is at 8 p.m. And then we go into Lori and or Terrell. I'm not sure which one of them is having their stream on Friday right after that. So it's going to be a busy weekend. Obviously, we all know Chad's show on Saturday.
Frank,
My arm is really getting tired, so because of my shoulder issue. So I can't stay up too much longer. And
Frank, did you check Dragon Orb Music's comment right here?
no,
Been a great show, Frank, and you dude with the shades and the female singer Liz subscribing.
Oh,
so, yeah, that's awesome. There's some pretty amazing and cool people in these communities, and I'm so blessed to have met so many of them. And again, I'm going to preach. This is why I do what I do. I think we can all, like Jade, her channel, the theme song, "We All Rise Together." It's that simple. We support each other, and we can. I think it's really important, especially at this stage in our music, our careers. To those who are making this a whole career out of it. And it's one big family. And again, I will tell everybody that Liz has given me the green light to use her song "Family" as a theme song for this Community Pulse show. I will be playing it shortly, but I did want to say just one more time before we go to this last. Thank you once again, Liz Aday, and I'm looking so forward to hearing all your music in the very near future. I will be stopping by your Bandcamp, and please, everybody, if you have a Bandcamp page, stop by, show some love, show some support, because this is what's all about. Like I said, this is a full-time, she's a professional musician. This is what she does for a living. And we are blessed to have her on this channel. We're blessed to have her in this community. And I think it's safe to say I do know music, and I do recognize amazing talent when I see it and when I hear it. And I strongly believe we've got a pleasant surprise coming up soon. I can just feel it in her style. It's in her personality, her writing, her she's the complete package. And thank you, Nate, for bringing her on to this show and sharing this. Thank you, Chad, Metalhead Hippie, and all involved who brought Liz Aday into this community. Jade.
That was a great interview too. That was such,
so fun.
I had so much fun watching.
We talked so long afterwards. You know, I could.
We did the same. We did the same. Yeah.
So fun.
Yeah,
So
that was such a fun interview.
I had a great.
So,
time.
any last thoughts or words, Liz? Because I am going to play the next song or the last song, and then after that we won't be coming back up. So. Yeah, I know. I wanted this to go on forever, and I was having fun with this chat.
Frank, did we want to again put Liz's Patreon links and
yeah, 100%.
Let's get everybody over there and support Liz. She's got a good cause. I know she could really use the support. So if you get a chance, please head on over to her Patreon. If you haven't subbed yet, please go subscribe to her channel. But yeah, Yeah, there is the Patreon, folk punk got it right there.
Yeah,
No,
you can find
I'm
out all
looking
about
for
what's
it.
going on with the Patreon as a member, but also you can be a free member now, and you get you can see. I always try to post something for the free members so they can see it as well. You get limited access, but it's like this new feature I'm learning about. But and also on the Bandcamp, on the newer singles like BFF and Family, I think I even put in the description that I'm trying to raise funds. As a dual citizen, it's really expensive when things go sideways and you need to be there for your family in person. And I haven't been there since 2022, so I need to get back. I have a family member who's quite sick, and I need to see her. So
Please help her get back. Please help her get back, friends. I know Liz would really appreciate the support.
Do you promise to stop by Canada while you're?
I wish I could, because that's where Joel is. I want to see Joel. We've never met in person. We met in Second Life. I'm going to do a little video on him in Second Life soon with his band and his prolific music. You're going to love him. I'm just letting you know, world. Indie world, listen to me. Red Heaven. You're going to love this. And then there's just so many other people that I know that you don't know yet that you're going to love. Trust me. I'm going to find a way to get them in front of your faces.
Love it.
Awesome.
All right, let me do this.
Thank you so much for this today, fellas. I really appreciate
thank
it.
No, thank you, Liz. I know everybody here is. I'm hoping everybody. I know I can see in the comments everybody here is as excited and happy that you came on as I am. I can tell. So
Sorry I missed the comments, everyone. I'll catch them on the flip side if I can.
Yeah, yeah. It's they'll be up by the next day. I had a problem with the chat last week. I wasn't sure. I don't know what I did, but I'm sure
I did that with my first YouTube stream. I was like, when are they? It's not even there. So I didn't even see them at all. So I just did my second live stream ever in YouTube yesterday. So
I don't have that excuse. This must be my 15th or 20th. But
Wow.
I'll always screw up something.
trust, I'm sure I will continue to invent new screw ups as I go along.
is with everybody, and there's always something.
Well, what does Jade say? She's like, mistakes make us better. So it's true.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I take that
Absolutely.
to heart.
Wise words.
Yes, and just one more thing. Our condolences, our prayers to the family of GRG's original music. A really cool man, an Italian. I got to know him through a couple songs that I put out. He reached out to me, one of the songs being in Italian. A really nice comment. My hearts and prayers to the family and to his dear friend Demi Mortality, who's very close. So thanks for the reminder, Jeff. I appreciate it. So on that note, I'm going to end it with another song of Liz, the one I was talking about, that the one is going to be the theme song for this show, The Community Pulse. I appreciate you all for coming out. I appreciate you all for all the support on this channel. And once again, why does it keep coming up? Once again, Liz, thank you very much.
My pleasure.
Nate, thank you. Good night, everybody. Love you. This is a song called Family, and I think you'll really love it. And please go to Liz's channel and let's show some love and support. And once again, thank you, Chad, for introducing us to this wonderful artist. Peace,
Thank you.
all. That's
Thank you, Frank. Liz, thank you for coming on. You made my day.
You made my day too. See you guys around.
Got it.
We'll be seeing you, Liz.
Okay.
We are, we are, we are, we are. 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 Sister, brother, father, mother, we are one and the same. We are, we we are family, family, forever like a diamond, special treasure. We shine, family, family, family. Are we not part of one another? Our love is gold, family. We are, we are, we are, we are family. We are, we are, we are, we are family. We are, we are, we are, we are family. We are, we are, we are, we are family. Your life, God.